superstar, and it's also a fact that it doesn't matter what your personality is. Little Miss Miriam has done incredible things, and on her bike, in her buggy, with the driver, with a horse, whatever, in the rain, in the snow, in the sleet, she is the no excuse girl. And she's been doing some things recently that have dramatically increased her party average. And you know, sometimes you get challenges and you can say, oh, any excuse not to succeed? Not for this woman. And I wanted her to share some of the things she's been doing at her shows that dramatically increased party average, bookings, and all kinds of things.
There you go. Thank you, Miriam. A year ago,
you've got to really open hide your mouth.
All right, I'll try. A year ago, January, February, March, I was blessed with high sales. Almost every sale was over $1,000. So I was really looking forward to this January, February, March. My first 5 shows were like 300, 400, 600, 400. I'm going, something's wrong. I didn't have the attendance, and I didn't have the people weren't there, and they weren't buying or anything like that. So my one host, I called her up the day before, and I just asked, so how many people are coming? I've got probably about 6 or 7. Okay, that's good. How many outside orders? Did you order, or did you collect any orders? Yeah, I have a few. So I said, you know what? If you double that, if you double your orders, your outside orders, if you double the people at the show, I will help you get a $1,000 show. Is that what you're after? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I just promised her a $1,000 show. I have to do something. So my double ticket came into hand, and what I did, and I revised a little bit from then on, I wrote my own invitations, and on each invitation I wrote down earn tickets to win prizes before they even get to the show. If they RSVP the host the day before, they get 3 tickets. If they bring a paying guest, they get a couple tickets. If they bring a $30 outside order, they get extra tickets. If they call me or the host with a dated show, they get 5 tickets. And if they're on time, they get a ticket. So what happened, I also had the host remind everybody, if you want that extra ticket, you need to RSVP me. It did 2 things. It reminded people to come. It eased the host that she could actually freely call these people because they wanted tickets. And then at the show, I would take like 2 or 3 prizes, and the one prize had to be between $20 and $50, and I'd show them. So I would say, well, first of all, I'd have one of my bowls with my double tickets, and I'd read off all the tickets that they were eligible to get. Everybody took their own tickets. And then towards the end, I had said, with a $50 order, you get 1 ticket. With a $60 order, you get another ticket and another one and another one. With every $10, you get extra tickets. So that's how I raised my sales, and I got people to come in. And since then, I probably, well, out of 18 shows, my first 5 were really low. All the others were anywhere between 12 and 1,700, except for 1 or 2. So the ticket game, or the tickets has done wonderful. Thank you. Another thing, I do a lot of couple shows, and like I promised my host or my consultant years ago that I would never ever do Pampered Chef because I can't stand and talk in front of people, so I'm never going to do that. When I became a consultant years later, I said there's one thing I'll never do, and that is have an all-men's show. It took me 9 years, but I don't know why I said yes last December, but I did, and I started doing men's show. And those were good. One of my last couples shows, we had the men pair off in 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we had the same recipe for both of them. We had 2 different tables. One table had what I call junky Goodwill products. The other one had good Pampered Chef products. and they had to race and see who did the best and who got done first, and that was a riot. I don't know if I do the ticket thing again, because I had like 22 couples there. That was like a little bit overwhelming. But she had a $1,400 show, so yes, it was awesome. It was great. It was good. Also host coaching. And one thing that I did was, after I knew I had to have $1,000 show for my host, I also came up with a little, and I'll pass this around, tic-tac-toe around I go. I just made it up as I went. I had very simple, easy things like collect 5 outside orders, start your show on time, $200 in outside orders, $150 in outside orders, keep your original date, and then it went up and a little bit more challenging, but I wanted them to get at least 6 really easy ones, because if they cross out 6 squares, they get a little prize. They cross out 9 squares, the prize goes a little bit higher. And then I had a big bullseye, because I also needed bookings. If they reached a $1,000 show, and they had 3 bookings within 6 weeks, dated within 6 weeks, and I never thought this was possible, but then my mind went back to, I believe, Judy, Joe, I think, you were the one that taught us to book in close. Most of those bookings were held within 10 days or less. And my last $1,000 show, she booked on a Wednesday night, and we held the show on a Monday night. What I have learned from those hosts is they go home with the packet, they're excited, they don't even have time to decide to chicken out of this show. They're on fire, they want to get their orders right away, they have the tic-tac-toe, they're crossing it off, they're doing everything that they can. When they have 3 booked shows held within 6 weeks, they get either their choice of the 3-piece mixing bowl or the deep covered baker. So at the 3rd show, and it has to be an in-home show, not a catalog show, because I want a $1,000 show for those 3 each, and I also want more bookings. The catalog show doesn't count, because oftentimes they'll just do a little itty-bitty one. So I've had lots of fun, and actually the 3 bookings, I stole that from someone probably in here a couple years ago when we had a retreat up here. So that's what I have been doing. It's been a lot of fun, and it's my team actually kind of freaked out at the last team meeting, because I told them I only book within 2 weeks. I'm not worried about the rest of the year or the rest of the calendar. I'm just worried about my next 2 weeks. I want 3 shows per week. And another reason that I really got on fire about this was I got into a financial bind, and within like 6 weeks I had to come up with not just my regular pay, but an extra almost $1,000. So I had to do extra sales, and I had to have high shows. I can't go out and do a show and just, have a $300 show. That's not going to pay my bill. So this actually, I almost cried when I had my first check, because between the 1st and the 15th of February, that is when was most crucial, because I had to have close to $1,000 on my check on the 22nd, and it was $1,200. So I was like, praise God. End of my show, I just remind everybody, as you're coming up, don't forget an extra ticket for a $50, and we have the batter bowl for $60, so you're getting all these goodies. And by the way, I'm going to send this bowl around once more. Count your tickets. If you book a show within the next 6 weeks, you can double those tickets. So if they wanted the prize that I had, they were more apt to go ahead and book a show and get those double tickets. Yes. And then at my men's and my couple shows, what I started doing was I discovered men love to spend. If the men are there, they give the permission. Why didn't you get it? You go get it. Make sure you order it. So what I started doing was selling tickets. 1 ticket for $5 or 5 tickets for $10. And then we'd have drawings. And the first drawing was the shopping spree after everyone had placed their order. Everyone had to place an order, because if I would do the drawing first, whoever was the winner was going to place an order. So they were placing big orders because they wanted the shopping spree. And that's where I came in with like my $1,700 shows and a $2,300 show, just because they wanted the money that was in there, so they spent a lot more and they booked because they wanted more tickets. So, yeah, and it's fun. My last, one of my last shows, someone had asked, "Aren't you selling the tickets?" And I was like, "Well, I wasn't really planning on it, but do you want to?" "Yeah, we want the tickets." So, yeah, it's something that they started loving, liking, yes.
What's the shopping spree?
The shopping spree is the money with the $5 and the $10 that they bought the tickets from.
So they get that money.
They get that money. Well, actually, I tell them, okay, I keep the money. I was like, okay, I count the money that was in it, and my last one was like $260. That was with the 22 couples. And I said, who wants to go on a shopping spree, you know, for $260? So I kept the money, and after everybody had paid in full, placed their order, we had one lucky winner, and you know, she had $260 to spend. I take $525 off and subtract 7% tax so that she doesn't have to pay tax on that. So we always subtract that. That way they don't have to come out with it. Because, yeah, I don't want them to pay for anything. It's free.